An encounter with the risen Lord causes transformation, which results into a new and better life. Related to this fact is a sermon by Reverend Father Robert Michael Sowa titled Transformed by Encountering the Risen Christ. In this sermon, Father Sowa reflected on how Peter encountered the risen Lord and was transformed and established as a servant leader of the community of believers. Though Peter had denied the Lord 3 times, yet he did not give up on him. According to Father Sowa, God does not give up on us because of our past mistakes. Rather, He is ready to transform us into good people who will be His witnesses. For the news in detail, let us hear from a reporter.
On the 1st of May 2022, Reverend Father Michael Sowa preached the Word of God at the St. Elizabeth's Catholic Church, Aberdeen in Freetown. Whilst he was preaching, Father Sowa divided his sermon into 2 parts. The first part had to do with his preaching, and the second part had to do with interaction. During the preaching, the man of God reflected on the theme "Transformed by Encountering the Risen Christ." Here, Father Sowa mentioned the apostles going back to their former job after the resurrection of Jesus.
So for this reflection, I've chosen the theme of transformed by encountering the risen Christ. All readings for this Sunday, then they testify to the awesomeness of the resurrection event. And the gospel reading on which the reflection today is based on the Gospel of St. John 21, 1-19. Jesus appeared for the 3rd time before his apostles. We see the apostles returning to their earlier occupations after the resurrection of Jesus. They went fishing. When things can go wrong now in life, we look for the familiar, something we don't used to do. For people in the rugged village, when things are wrong, what do? They go back to your village because they are familiar with the terrain. They want solace. So these guys who were fishermen originally abandoned their career, followed Jesus. When things got confused, when they couldn't make sense of what has happened, they retreated to their former way of life. In doing so, they acted contrary to Christ's emission statement for them. Remember, we encounter Peter and the others. They say, "From today you will no longer catch fish, I will make you." We are supposed to be taking care of the Lord's business and not theirs.
In addition, Father Sowa expanded on Peter's encounter with the risen Lord and the transformation that took place thereof.
Also, and this is very important for my reflection today, that during this encounter that Jesus reaffirmed the position of Peter as the servant leader, underlying the word servant leader of the Christian community. After what happened on Holy Thursday and Good Friday, when Peter denied Jesus, human beings being what we are, we expect say Jesus for don't dismiss Peter, not so, and write him off and say you are no longer in charge of this community because you're not coward, you don't get courage. But he didn't do that. Jesus asked Peter 3 times, "Simon Peter, son of Jonah, do you love me?" This question confused Peter, but implicit or hidden in this question, dear friends, was the fact that Jesus had not given up on Peter. Jesus' love for him and his commitment to him were still there, even though both he and Peter had gone through a lot. Peter did not only hurt Jesus, he betrayed him. Loyalty is one of the fundamental principles of relationship. We let people learn for the loyal to we and stand by we in difficult moments. If they run away, we doubt them. But Jesus did not. Jesus knew that there was another and a better side of Peter. That's what we are, all of us. Sometimes we can get into a relationship with people that they are good to us like forever. And one time they make mistake. We use the singular moment and read this person for the rest of their life. We hold it against them. we forget to read the bigger picture. And we all get the good and bad side of Peter. Jesus knew that Peter has strength and his weakness, and both can coexist together. Jesus kept no record of Peter's sins.
Moreover, Father Sowa mentioned some lessons that should be learned from Peter's experience. We should be aware of our weaknesses so that we will be able to understand the weaknesses of others, he noted.
Peter never forgot that he had denied Jesus, but he did not allow that sad episode to haunt him. Some of us are haunted by our mistakes forever. I am not divulging any confessional sin, but some people, if you don't confess the sin, one sin, and they keep doing it over and over, because they are haunted by that mistake. But Peter believed in the grace of God. He learned a great lesson from his fall. He was able to discover that he was not as brave and courageous as he thought he was. The book of Proverbs says, do not rely on your own capacity, your own intelligence. He also learned a wonderful truth about Jesus, that in spite of his weakness, his denial, Jesus still loved him. It was love that brought Peter back to life. Great things happen when God mixes with men. That's what happened with Peter. He mixed with the Lord, he encountered the risen Christ, and his life was never the same. Peter had the ability to get up again after his fall and become a good leader, because through the grace of the risen Christ, he became aware of his limitation, his weakness. Knowledge of who we are, knowledge of limitation can be a very good step in forging ahead in the Christian vocation. When you understand your own weakness, your own limitations, it grants you the opportunity to understand the weakness and limitations of others.
In the second part of the sermon, Father Sowa turned the mic to the congregation to get their views on how the message of transformation could be practicalized in their various communities. In response, most people contributed salient points which, if put into practice, will transform our communities.
I am not going to make a moral statement. This is how you should live. You know how we can make things better in our community. So I now invite you to highlight ways in which we can live out the message we have had today. Remember the theme of today, transformed by encountering the risen Christ. How do we do that in practical ways? Okay.
Before you transform someone, you have also to have transformation in you. Without the transformation Jesus was having ready, he tried to give it to hand over to Peter to carry the journey.
Yeah, for me, I think for left for put myself at the center of affairs. I mean, whatever we do, we for think about how it affects everybody else. Like for instance, mostly ideal for we, whatever we want to do, how it benefits me. Like I want to start a business, I want to start a great business. But why I want to start a great business? Is it because na great business the boom, na great they give me money, or na because people and they suffer for food? The point why I try to make here is we decision them for being more informed by the benefits of people in general than waiting with the game.
Now we lead to communities then. Now we set for sex the example first. I should begin with you. How? You self not take dirty, you some water down the ground and go. Then not pray for tell the next person say, oh no for pick up. The ground clean.
Me dey take am na the office setting.
Okay.
I begin for transform myself first, and I dey take am the line of discipline. If you want for get that transformation in the office, make sure say you ask boss. You don't get there and there's a clock in or register for the junior ones. So I dey make sure say I don't left me host by discipline. I know say traffic get for the 1 hour and the travel time. for meet up this time. When I get there, I get for clocking. Clocking in and encourage others when they come. Let them say they there because me as boss, you don't come into their day in time. And I know the only stop at that. Motivational measures them for day.
Me, I say self-discipline. You get for start and from you first. Therefore, see the discipline by you before ever you able for teach other people there. If you say you're a good Christian, then in the city, map and street, they do all kinds of things, customer calls, make blah blah, whatever will follow you, nobody. But if they see them by you, self-discipline, you discipline you first before ever the discipline you begin them. I believe say other people they will set example from you.
Which will be business, and they are moving as woman to man. God say we all not a man, we are in weakness. He say if you see you come in not a man, you do bad. One am for make it stop. He say if you know one am for make it stop. He say it will punish you past because you will do the bad. He say but if you want to make it stop, you don't free. This not only business, then they are moving.
GNBC News, Sia Gertrude Bisene, reporting from Freetown.